Hello, readers, and thank you for joining me for another phonics lesson. We are continuing our look at R controlled vowels this week, and we want to look again at these four R controlled vowels. We already have videos available on ER, IR, and UR if you want to go find those. But this week we're really focusing in on these. AR, OR, ORE, and OAR. Now, as we've said in the other previous three lessons, OAR, OR, and ORE all make the same sound. They all say or. Can you say that? Or. So there's some basic rules or basic kind of most common uses for these different spellings of the or sound. Or can go in the beginning, middle, or end of a word. OAR can go in the middle or end of a word, unless it's a word by itself, which it is, like a paddle. And ORE can go in the middle or end of a word, which means if you hear it in a word, it could be any of those three spellings unless it's at the beginning, and then it's probably OR at that point in time. But what this does let you know is when you see it in a word, you know what sound it probably makes. Now, before we get started practicing, I always want to practice writing our different spellings. And the reason we practice writing is it helps us remember how to spell them. It helps us remember what sounds those letter combinations make. So let's go ahead and get out our paper and pencil, dry erase board and marker, whichever you are using. I'm using a dry erase board and marker. And we are going to practice writing those sounds, those letter combinations, and make the sound. So make sure you make the sound when you write it. We're going to start with AR since it's the only one that says R. So let's write it 3 times and say R every time. Let's get started. R, R, R. Next, let's do or. Or, or, or. Next, let's do OAR. Or, or, or. And last, let's do ORE. Or, or. Very good. Thanks for doing that with me. Now, let's move on to reading some words that have these different letter combinations in them. All right, let's get started. Sound, S. Sound, T. Put that together, St. R. Put that together, star. At night, you might see stars in the sky. Or we could say, I bet you are a reading star. Next, sound, R. Next, or. Put that together, roar, or, roar. A lion might roar. Sound, ch. Sound, or. Put that together, chore. You might have to do a chore when you get up on the weekend. That's a job to do. Sound, f. Sound, or. Put that together, thorn. Put that together, thorn. Thorn, thorn. You might see a thorn on a rose bush. All right, next let's practice some blends, digraphs, vowel teams that we've probably learned already. Say these with me. Full, burr, st, fur, purr, th, s, R, A, O, O, or ow sometimes, E, O. Now we're going to do a little bit of silent blending today, but we're going to move into some word chaining like we did in lesson 2 at the end. So we're just going to do a few just for practice. Remember, don't say the word until the whole thing is on the screen. Are you ready? Let's get started. Arch. Roars. More. Born. Soaring. Score. Storm. Marsh. Now, let's do some word chaining. Our first word is bore. Can you say bore? Now change or to R. What word do we have? Bar. Next, let's say bar, but put a k at the end. What word do I have? Bark. What if on bark I change the b to a sh? What word do I have? Shark. What if on shark I change the ark to or? What word do I have? Shore. What if on shore I change the sh to just a s? What sound do I have? Word. Soar. That's the word, not the sound. Soar. What if on soar I put a k after the s? What's my new word? Score. What about on score if I change the k to t? What's my new word? Store. What if on store I put a at the end? What's my new word? Storm. What about on storm if I change the st to a f? What's my new word? Form. What about on form if I get rid of the What word do I have now? For. What about for if I change the f to a p? What word do I have? Pour. What if I add a ch to the end of pour? What's my new word? Porch. On porch, if I change the p to a t, what word do I have? Torch. On torch, if I delete the ch, what word do I have left? Tour. And on tour, if we put a n at the end, what word do we have? Torn. How'd you do? I bet you did amazingly. And thanks for staying with me to the end. Until next time, happy reading.